Oh my God, you know what? I had a quote by a fabulous writer that I love, Anne Lamott, and I've forgotten some of it. And I swore that I wouldn't, but it's very important that I remember as much as I can. She says that her coming to faith did not start with a leap, but rather a series of staggers that brought me from one place to the next. Like lily pads, round and green, they summoned me until I grew. And each prepared me for the next leap pad. And it held me up until I landed. And this is how I traveled over the pond of doubt and fear. My beginnings were challenging. My coming to reading was out of healing and desperation and survival. I needed my imagination because it was in that world that I can be pretty, that I could be a warrior, that I could live in a treehouse like the Berenstain Bears, that I could feel safe. And so it was through that I would leave school at the age of 5, when school was out, and I would walk to the library, and I would stay there until dark, and then I would go home. And it wasn't until I became 54 that reading and words became something different. It became a way for me to transform and reconcile little Viola, who still lived in me, still tugged at me. And so I could not escape into another writer's world. I had to create that world, and it was mine. Those of us who imagine what life would be without pain, without suffering, are unfit for illumination. And for me, thank you. I stole those words, by the way, from Joseph Campbell. But it was through writing my book that I wanted to go through a powerful sort of transformational journey where I went to my innermost cave and didn't come face to face with God, with demons, but with me. And every page I wrote, every word that came out of my pen was a way of me achieving that. So, what am I saying? Imagination is healing. Words and books are healing. And for people who are living in this world, in this concrete world that defines them as one thing, then it becomes absolutely a necessity, an elixir, that sort of wild potion that you put together, and it creates an alchemy that when you give it to someone, creates a radical transformation, and then all the walls in your life starts crumbling down, and you see the world for everything that not only it is, but everything that it could be. That's what I needed. That's what drew me to books. I didn't want to just be the little black girl, dark-skinned black girl with short hair who lived in abject poverty, who was not seen. I wanted to be a queen. And reading and books, they afforded me that. And this was a little ego-driven. I wanted to give it to others because I know those people who are suffering. And I know those people who are living in a world without connection, without imagination, without choices. It was my gift. Because it's like Anne Lamott said also, you can either leave something for people or you can leave something in people. And when you leave it in, it is like an ember. When you agitate it and you put kindling on it, it grows into a flame. And by God, Viola Davis, who wet the bed, who grew up in abject poverty, who literally grew up in domestic violence, she had a flame. I thank you. I am internally grateful for this award because of that. And you have no idea how much it means to me. And how much, here's the thing, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning and writing 40 pages of something you think you remembered is also a wild journey. But in this memory and in this body, this 58-year-old body, little Viola showed up. And she took that pen and she was like, by God, you're going to tell us, you're going to tell the world our story. I refuse to be buried. That is the power of literacy. Thank you.